My name is Mia, and I have a story that might sound like a cliché to some, but it's my reality. Growing up, I always believed in the power of community, of neighbors, and how they could be your second family. But that perspective changed dramatically for me. Let me tell you why. 3 years ago, I married Paul. We were high school sweethearts, and everyone in our community adored him. He was the high school football star, charming, and with a promising future. But behind closed doors, Paul was a different person. "Where were you?" Paul would often demand, the moment I'd walk through the door. His eyes would scan me head to toe, as if looking for some sign of betrayal. "I was just at the supermarket, Paul," I'd reply, holding up the grocery bags as proof. He'd then mockingly say, "You think you're so smart, don't you? Trying to make me look like a fool." Our neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, was Paul's godmother. She'd often drop by unannounced, always with a judgmental comment. "You know, Mia, back in my days, we kept our homes spotless." Her eyes would travel pointedly to a stray sock or a cup left on the table. I could never do anything right in her eyes. To make matters worse, Paul's sister, Lisa, lived 2 houses down. She was the town's gossip queen. Every little argument we had, every tear I shed, Lisa knew and shared. "Poor Paul," she'd sigh dramatically to anyone who'd listen. "Married to such an ungrateful woman." The pinnacle of the torment came when I discovered I was pregnant. Overjoyed, I thought this would be the turning point for Paul and me, but when I miscarried a few months later, Paul, with the support of Mrs. Thompson and Lisa, spread rumors that I had done it intentionally. "Did you hear about Mia?" Lisa whispered to Mrs. Johnson, the librarian. "She didn't want Paul's baby. Can you believe it?" This false narrative spread like wildfire. My community turned its back on me. No one would talk to me or even look my way. I felt trapped, with no way out. Every day was a battle, and I questioned my worth. But then, a ray of hope entered my life in the form of an old classmate, Sarah. She had recently moved back to town and was unaware of the rumors. She took me under her wing, and with her support, I found the strength to leave Paul. "Enough is enough," Sarah told me one day as we sat at her kitchen table. "You need to stand up for yourself." "But how?" I sobbed. "The whole town is against me." "We'll show them the truth," she said, determination in her eyes. With Sarah's help, I began collecting evidence of Paul's abuse. We installed cameras in our home, and I began documenting every cruel word and action. After a few months, I had enough evidence to not only divorce Paul, but also file a lawsuit against him. The day in court was nerve-wracking, but as the evidence was presented, the truth became undeniable. Videos showed Paul's rage, his abusive behavior, and his manipulations. Mrs. Thompson and Lisa were exposed for their part in spreading false rumors. The judge ruled in my favor, granting me a hefty settlement. Paul, Mrs. Thompson, and Lisa were required to issue a public apology. But the best part? The community finally saw the truth. They reached out, offering their apologies and support. Lisa approached me one day, tears in her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Mia," she whispered. "I should have known better." I looked at her, my emotions a mix of anger and pity. "Thank you for your apology, Lisa, but I can't forgive you. Not now." Today, I run a support group for women facing abuse. Sarah is my right-hand woman, and together we're making a difference in many lives. The past is behind me, but I'll never forget. The experience made me stronger and showed me the importance of standing up for oneself. Life has a funny way of coming full circle. The community that once shunned me now looks up to me. But more importantly, I've found my voice and purpose. I'm Mia, and this is my story. Would you have forgiven Lisa and the others if you were in Mia's shoes? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.